about a month ago, I had a new experience for myself. At Walmart, I purchased a bow hunting license for deer in Indiana. Now, given my 3 or 4 trips that I've made into the woods thus far with my new license, the deer of Hendricks and Marion County are very much safe. I stand probably a greater chance of hurting myself as opposed to harming a deer. I've spent about 6 hours or so hunting thus far in November, but already I think I have the gist at least of the process down, even if I've not been successful. The first stage is making sure that you have a hunting outfit that you have to change into. Obviously, you don't wear your work clothes out into the woods. The suit that I have from my uncle makes me look like Chewbacca from Star Wars. Probably scares most of the deer away. After you have changed into your outfit, you hike in to the spot where you think you have the best chance of finding a deer. And then you wait, and wait, and wait. That's not the part that you see on hunting TV shows when they get it all done in a half hour. I've realized that the biggest part of hunting is simply sitting there and waiting. That realization about what goes on in hunting, mostly waiting, has not been a bad thing for me. In fact, it's been very peaceful and very enjoyable, and now something that I kind of look forward to. I found that as I've finally arrived at my spot or my destination and get settled in, that it becomes quickly kind of a process of simply kind of controlling your breathing, starting to sit motionless and not make any unnecessary motions or movements lest you scare something off. I found as well that as I sit there, my senses are on high alert. I'm seeking and straining and kind of peering off into the distance. Usually it's at either dusk or dawn. So kind of staring off and looking for any sign of movement, listening for the slightest rustle, and indicating that what I've been hunting for is actually about to appear. What does that have to do with today in our readings? In our readings, Isaiah in the first reading and St. Paul in the second both use the same word. They encourage us to wait. And Jesus, 3 times in the Gospel, encourages us similarly to watch. And he also asks that we be on alert. My realization this hunting season is that, at least for me, my Advent is going to be a lot like hunting. As a hunter, first of all, changes outfits and prepares for the hunt, so I will change into a new attitude. No longer content to be idle, no longer content to sit around and kill time. I will now be deliberate, and I will hunt and seek and strain for God. Also, as a hunter sits in the stillness and strains and yearns and listens, so I will sit in the stillness of prayer, waiting, listening, and hoping. I know that as I look back on fall and summer and probably the entire year, there certainly have been times where I have maybe gotten into a rut of a little bit of lackadaisicalness, if that's a word, of non-seeking, of simply being content where I am instead of hoping or longing for more. Instead of seeking God with all my heart, perhaps being content to know Him from a distance. As I've spent time in the woods, I've realized that this Advent is the perfect time for me to shift gears and to go hunting for God. Finally, though, the best part of all of this is that I know through my faith, through the teaching of the church, through the teaching of our scriptures, that the more that I hunt God, the more I will realize that I have it all wrong. That in fact, from the beginning, despite all the obstacles that I put in His way, and despite how hard and fast I continue to sprint from Him, God is seeking and straining and hunting for me.